Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sun on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I'm not there. I did not die. This story comes from across the pond, and it is happening now as we speak. It began early this month. Sarah Everard was a 33-year-old who lived in Brixton, South London. She worked as a marketing executive. Friends and family describe her as a beautiful, thoughtful, loyal, and kind person. Sarah was funny and sweet, rubbish at karaoke, but brilliant at everything else. She loved music and laughter, and had plans to go abroad with her boyfriend and a few of their friends after lockdown this summer. March 3rd was a Wednesday, and Sarah had been visiting friends in Clapham, South London. She left their home on Litwaite Road at around 9 p.m. Her plan was to walk to her own home in Brixton. The walk should have taken about 50 minutes along well-lit roadways. Sarah spoke to her long-term boyfriend, Julez Wolf, on the phone for around 15 minutes. They made plans to meet up the next day, and their call ended at around 9:28 p.m. March 4th, Thursday, Sarah's friends, including her boyfriend, notified the police after they had not heard from her and could not reach her. March 5th was a Friday, and police made public appeals for information regarding Sarah's disappearance. Her friends and family members covered the route that she would have taken on her way home, and they handed out flyers and put up posters. Saturday, March 6th, police released this Saturday, March 6th, police released this CCTV image of Sarah from the night she was last seen, and they asked anyone who was in the area that night to check their doorbell and dash cam footage for her. March 7th, Sunday, Scotland Yard took over the operation due to its complex nature and concerns for Sarah's welfare. March 8th was a Monday, and Scotland Yard stated that the case was still a missing persons case. Law enforcement also confirmed that a hat that had been found during an earlier search did not belong to Sarah. On March 9th, Tuesday, police used dogs to search along Sarah's route home and in nearby areas. They also conducted water searches. At 11:54 p.m., police revealed that they had made an arrest. The suspect in Sarah's disappearance is an active-duty Metropolitan Police officer. We now know that his name is Wayne Cousins, and he is 48 years old.
A serving police constable has tonight been charged with the kidnap and murder of Sarah Everard. Wayne Cousins, aged 48, has been remanded in custody and will appear at Westminster Magistrates Court tomorrow morning.
The arrest was made at his home on Freeman's Way in Deal, Kent. His wife was also arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender. March 10th, Wednesday, the police released a new statement revealing the original charges were suspicion of kidnap, but they have now also arrested him on suspicion of murder. He also has other indecent exposure charges from an incident a few days prior to Sarah's disappearance. Police continued to search Wayne Cousins' home and nearby property. They had a tent erected outside of his home. Another search took place around Great Chart Golf and Leisure, an abandoned paintball, archery, and golf facility in Ashford, Kent. The facility closed in April of 2019. At 8:20 p.m., an official statement was released. Human remains had been found in a woodland area of Ashford. They could not confirm the identity of the remains and stated that identification may take some considerable time. March 11th, which is Thursday, at around 4:54 p.m., Wayne Couzens was found unconscious in his cell with a serious self-inflicted head injury. He was taken to a hospital for treatment. After the hospital discharged him, he was returned to custody. March 12th, Friday, police confirmed that the human remains that were found on March 10th are Sarah Everard. Identification was made through dental records. Wayne Couzens was taken to the hospital again after sustaining a second self-inflicted head injury, and he was treated and released back into custody a short time later. Around 9 p.m., Wayne Couzens was charged with kidnapping and killing Sarah Everard. March 13th, a Saturday, Wayne Couzens appeared in court. There's no courtroom photography, but the artist renditions show the head injuries. The information heard in court on Saturday included that Sarah's remains were found inside a large builder's bag hidden in an area of woodland in Ashford, Kent. Sarah was seen alone on the camera of a marked police car at 9:32 p.m. Around 9:35 p.m., a bus camera captured two figures believed to be Sarah Everard and Wayne Couzens on Pointers Road that night. The camera also captured a white Vauxhall Astra with its hazard lights flashing. Another bus camera captured the same car with both front doors open. The registration of the vehicle confirmed it to be a car hired in Dover by Wayne Couzens. They were able to track it as it left London towards Kent. The area where Sarah was found is in between the area where she was taken and where Couzens lives in Kent. Wayne Couzens is a trained firearms officer. On March 2nd, he began a 12-hour shift at 7 p.m. He was set to go on leave on March 3rd and return to work on March 8th. But on March 5th, he reported that he was suffering from stress, and on March 6th, he emailed his supervisor to say that he did not want to carry a firearm anymore. Wayne Couzens is to remain in custody, and his next court appearance is set for Tuesday, March 16. His wife is out on bail. Her next appearance is in April. This weekend, police in dry suits were continuing to search around the area where Sarah's remains were found near Ashford. Kent Online has reported that officers have been seen along a pathway next to a stream, and they have set up a base in the town center. The police arrived just after 1 on Sunday afternoon. They taped off the waterside pathway, and they also searched a nearby recycling bin. The only official comment at this time is that it is related to Sarah's case, and they wish the public to give them some space. Meanwhile, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, or IOPC, said that it is conducting a probe into the conduct of the officers who handled the two separate incidents where Wayne Couzens was accused of exposing himself not just once, but twice at a South London fast food restaurant 3 days before the disappearance of Sarah Everard. In my opinion, it is entirely possible that if he had been taken into custody, Couzens may not have felt free to do what he did to Sarah. Also, I'd like to state for the record right now that it doesn't matter whether Sarah was walking alone or anything like that. I will not stand for any victim blaming at all. This lays squarely with Couzens. We need to take back the night. We need to make the world safe for women. And we should use Sarah as the driving force for all of us women to come together and make some changes. We shouldn't be forced to stay home. We shouldn't be forced to live our lives any differently than people who are not our gender. Let's raise our sons right, and let's see what we can do to make this world a better place. Thank you for watching Another Day in the Car with Julez.
The whole country will be united in their feeling for her friends, her family, and will share their shock and their grief. And I can see and I totally understand why this has triggered such a wave of feeling on this issue, on the issue of safety of women and safety of the streets.
And obviously it's touched all of us living here. It genuinely could have been anyone, and lots of my friends have reached out knowing that I live close, and also just as girls in general, very affected by it.
For us, it's about standing up to that and saying that spaces should be safe for women, and that it's not our behaviour that needs to change. It's not about what we wear, it's not about what time we go out. We can't self-impose a curfew on ourselves because of our gender. It's about actually raising the issue of violence and harassment of women and telling men that it's their job to change their behaviour as well.